If your honey never crystallizes, you might be pouring more than bees made. Today, we're exposing how pure and raw labels get used to sell syrup that's been heated and ultra-filtered until the pollen and the proof is gone. Stay with me because we'll break down the 3 tricks packers use to launder cheap imports, show you the red flags on the jar, and name 5 US brands you should skip. By the end, you'll know how to spot real honey and keep your money and your health from getting skimmed. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So did you subscribe already? Great! Thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video. If your honey pours silky smooth month after month, there's a good chance you're not buying what you think. So why do the labels still say raw and pure? Let's start with the promise. The jar sells you enzymes, pollen, and trace minerals. You want the messy, living stuff bees make. What lands on your toast is often heat-treated syrup in a cute bear, built to look perfect and stay liquid forever. The industry knows what you judge. You spot a clear, golden pour and think quality. That's where the 3 laundering tricks come in: ultrafiltration, high heat, and syrup blending. Simple methods, slick results. Ultrafiltration is the first tell. Fine filters strip out pollen, the one fingerprint that ties honey to place and season. Without that, you lose origin and character. What's left is a faceless sweetener that can be pooled from everywhere and claimed from nowhere. Then there's heat. Crank the temperature and bottling moves faster. Crystals stop forming. But enzymes like diastase drop and HMF climbs both shift with heat and age. The honey stays glossy. The life in it doesn't. It's like polishing an apple until the skin shines, then shaving off the peel, the aroma, and the label.
This isn't just any old honey, it's Manuka honey. And in its purest form, it can cost up to $99 per 100 grams. That's more than 100 times the price of normal honey.
As standard, we will test for 3 compounds: dihydroxyacetone, which is known as DHA, methyl glyoxal, known as MgO, and hydroxymethylfurfural, HMF. So in some cases they're labelling for the concentration of a compound, so MgO 300 would indicate 300 milligrams of methyl glyoxal in that particular pot of honey per kilogram, to NPA, which is non-peroxide activity.
Pretty, but you removed the proof. And the blend? Rice or corn syrups can ride just under common detection lines. The taste is smooth and mild. The price is low. The margin is great. Your spoon can't tell, and casual tests won't either. So how do you catch it in the aisle without a lab? The 30-second checks are simple and ruthless. You read the jar. You watch the texture. You track time. Here are the red flags you can use now. It never crystallizes after months at room temp. The label hedges on origin with lines like product of multiple countries. It's ultra clear and ultra runny. It says ultra filtered or just filtered, and you won't find pollen. And it's suspiciously cheap for something called raw or organic.
They store it in their honey sac, then return to the hive where other worker bees suck it out and chew it, breaking down the nectar's complex sugars into 2 simple sugars called glucose and fructose. These will sting if taken by surprise, so the beekeeper sprays the hive with smoke from burning pine needles, a scented warning that foreigners are about to enter the hive. Inside the honey factory, they put the honeycomb frames on what's called an uncapping machine. Like a razor, it shaves the wax caps off the honey-filled cells of the combs.
Now let's move on to the names behind the shine, the 5 brands you should skip and why they keep passing as pure. You trust the shelf staples because they look clean and familiar. The squeeze bear, the tidy font, the word raw in big letters. So why do so many jars test like they were built for looks, not for what bees made? Let's start with the retail reality. Big packers fight 3 things: pollen, crystals, and price. They want clear, shelf-stable, cheap. Pollen proves origin, crystals prove raw, and both slow the line. So they filter harder, heat higher, and blend wider to keep the pour smooth and the margins sweet. The labels try to calm you down with seals and organic halos. But here's the kicker. Mid-level blending can slip past routine screens, and a certification is not a guarantee. A seal tells you someone checked a box. It does not tell you how that honey was handled, heated, or stripped. Now the names you asked for and why they raise eyebrows.
Another factor that's driving up the price is the use of Manuka honey in health and beauty products. Its antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties are said to soothe and nourish the skin.
Those clinical trials over a long period of time have not been undertaken as of yet, but there are lots of reports that indicate that Manuka honey has benefits, but as yet...
If you do manage to get your hands on a jar, does it actually taste different from normal honey?
Oh my god, that is delicious.
The taste is pretty similar to what I'm used to. The texture is really interesting. It's very, very thick, almost like creamy.
365 by Whole Foods Organic Mountain Forest Honey, Safeway Clover Honey, Nature Nate's Raw and Unfiltered Honey, Dutch Gold Honey, Grobe Farms. These brands have been named in investigations for heavy processing or origin opacity. Patterns linked to these supply chains include aggressive filtration that removes pollen, high heat tied to elevated HMF, a heat and age marker, and labels that blur where the nectar really came from. Contrast that with the real thing. Raw honey often turns cloudy, sets into a soft grit, and shifts color by season. The supermarket version stays glossy and uniform, like it rolled off a paint line. Same shade, same pour, month after month. And the wider backdrop matters. Investigations and import prosecutions have mapped how cheap foreign syrups move through shell suppliers, get cleaned by filtration, then rebranded on arrival. Origin gets fuzzy, traceback stalls. What's left is a sweetener with its fingerprints wiped. So what's the move when you want honey's benefits without playing lab roulette? You buy from local beekeepers or trusted co-ops. You look for raw, unfiltered, single origin. You favor crystallized or cream-style jars. You read for a harvest location. Then you run a home crystallization test on a small jar at room temp and watch it over weeks. If this gave you something to chew on, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who keeps a squeeze bear by the coffee maker. Real honey is not flawless. It is alive, it shifts with season, and it crystallizes. That staged glassy look is the tell. If your jar never clouds or sets, you probably bought shine, not substance. Swap one supermarket squeeze bottle for a local jar this week. Read for a harvest location. Try a cream-style spread or a jar that already set. Your toast will taste better, and you keep real beekeeping alive. Like and subscribe to help us keep the spotlight on the food industry's best-kept secrets. Next time, we test 3 home checks on camera and see which raw jar fails in under a minute.